Patches. And it wasn't long after Tyler passed away in May of 2013. It was extremely traumatic. It was my first year I encountered Officer McMillan. She came in and removed my ducks and chickens. I was absolutely devastated. Shortly after that, I lost my Tyler, I had him for 6 years. I had him since 2007. I lost him on my mother's birthday of all days that year. That was tough. And I started going through animal shelters and just lost, really, kind of hoping to see my ducks there, my chickens. I had taken a poultry seminar there. I don't know, it was bittersweet, and I ran across a kitten that looked so similar. She could have been Tyler's daughter. And she had a little Maine Coon friend named Buster Jr. at Nevins Farm in Methuen. And I started, I started visiting her. A short time after, I realized I wanted to take her home. It was something I could do. And I actually wanted her friend, Buster Jr., too, because it just seemed like fate. It seemed like, that's odd. Tyler was, the same color as Patches, almost. Very similar. I think Patches had another generation of calico in her. And he was just, you can kind of see him up there, the second one down. He looked like Kitsy when I got him, and Patches looked like Kitsy as well. Kitsy was a childhood cat. And Patches was just the sweetest kid, always purring, always happy. Had some ear mite issues, being in a barn, being outside. Was with another cat, Buster Jr. I adopted her and continued to see Buster Jr. visit with him. And I was told by the Nevins staff that there would be a waived fee adoption day coming up. And it was just so sad. I had promised Patches I was going to get her friend Buster. And they had told me about it. I was visiting him. I had in an application after application. I was trying to put in multiple applications that year because they said they could only hold him for 2 weeks. And I tried to, keep him on hold until this waived fee day. So, maybe I could save on the fee. I had just paid one for Patches that year in June of 2013. And they was telling me all through July, I was planning on a July adoption. And the employee had told me, well, if you wait until August, there's going to be a waived fee day. So I, continued to visit with him. I put in multiple applications, trying to, keep him, keep the interest up in her friend. And sadly, the day, and I had visited him the day before the waived fee day in Methuen in August of 2013, trying to get Patches' friend, Buster Jr., with us at home. They had changed his name or something because I went to go look for him and he was gone. There was a bald animal there that looked very similar and appeared to recognize me. And I just couldn't be sure. I feel like they name changed him at the last minute. And this cat was shivering. And there was another cat that looked just like Breeze. So, I was faced with a dilemma at that point. I've always regretted that. I told Patches when I got home that I couldn't get Buster, or that I think I might have seen Buster, but I wasn't sure. So Patches was all psyched to get Buster Jr. home, and lo and behold, I went to Nevins in August of 2013, and no Buster Jr., the old bait and switch, I guess. telling me one thing, wait until waived fees, and it's going to be there, and put in an application, extra application that'll hold him, all this bullshit that I heard from Nevins Farm. And never got Buster Jr. So I went to waive fee days, like with the carrier, ready, waited in line, went through the whole process, and looked through the whole place, could not find Buster, and it was waive fee days. I'll tell you in the next one.